Okay, this is GamerBlave and we're back with True Remembrance. And it's actually been a while since the last recording, but, unfortunately, every now and again I have to make these little announcements at the beginning of these because I have hiati. I don't know if that's actually a pluralization of hiatus, but, I don't always get to play games and make videos as often as I like, but haven't got to do any single player stuff for a while, so it's just been a while. But in the last video, Blackiris and Law went down to a mansion on 3rd Street at the behest of Rook, who sent them there to kind of take care of a job that he was supposed to take care of. And what they found there was the inhabitant of that house, I guess presumably was conducting some research into some memories, and I think it was attempting to possibly not only learn how to, well, I think it was more just the true nature of memories in general, being able to maybe create memories, erase memories, just complete control over them, be able to understand them on a fundamental scientific level, and then if you could, I guess, have this formula, then you would be able to then control memories in whatever way you saw fit. You could manipulate them, and I guess to that end, I'm not sure if he had, or he or she or whoever this person was, had either found this species of butterfly that managed to trigger this research, or perhaps this person had engineered this butterfly. But there were a bunch of butterflies who, if they contacted your head, would trigger these memories. And Law had one contact her head and she ran off. Anyway, we don't exactly know what she experienced. So that happened, and you can certainly go back and look at that footage and draw your own conclusions, and I talked about that a little bit. But anyway, that brings us up till this point, and I guess we will see, because that certainly, I would imagine, is going to have some more significance to it. But at this point, we don't exactly know what all the ramifications of that are yet. But let us proceed. It belongs right here, in my own 2 hands. Oh, I guess I stopped one page too early last time, didn't I? You know what I really hate? Losing. Sucks, doesn't it? So if you're gonna play at all, don't screw around. Play to win. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Interlude. Bring your A game. Now, what do good girls do? I'll get straight to the point. They wolf down everything I set in front of them, and ask for seconds. I guess that means the girl who's currently gracing my counter with her presence is an awfully good girl. Dude, just watch her eat, I tell ya. course, I got no problem with that. How could I? Law's a real sweetheart after all, and a bona fide cutie. Now, Blackiris and Law, they come round these parts 2-3 times a week maybe. This is pretty special, you see. And all the time I've known the man, he's never brought a single one of his guests over here. Until now. Okay, so it seems as if we have now switched to our third narrator. When we started out, we had Blackiris, and then we switched to Law, then we switched back to Blackiris, and now it looks like we're on to Rook for our interlude here. Guess I don't blame him. He's not used to his guest being a girl. Haha. Probably has no idea what to do. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, he's not here now. I'm guessing he's gone off to HQ to make his progress report or something like that. Wow, he left her with Rook. That's an interesting move. It's been, what, 3 weeks now since he started treating Law? Makes sense that the higher-ups would want to know what he's been up to in that time, huh? So what's Law doing here, you ask? Relax, relax. I'm just getting to that. Blackiris probably thought Law'd be bored, all by her lonesome. I'm guessing that's why he brought her here. Said he'd had some errands to run. Stepped out after that. Haven't seen him since. I tell you, man, sometimes I have no clue what's going on in that big head of his. I've been watching him in Law for weeks now. Sometimes he's the biggest blockhead alive. Others, he's got her wrapped around his little finger, you know? Anyway, it looks like our little princess is all done. Not a thing left on her plate. Awesome. And she's looking up at the shelves around the counter. Probably admiring my bottle collection. Rook, been meaning to ask, what are those? This I like. She's so open, so to the point. When she's happy, she laughs. When she's sad, she cries. And when she's curious, she asks. I guess that's why I never, give her the straight dope at first. Too much fun, you hear? Oh, those? Tools of the trade, little lady. Tools of the trade. Oh, spices? Flavorings? Not quite. Try again. I'm talking about a slightly different trade. My real trade, you know? Your real trade? But I thought you were the owner and operator of Aroma. You're not wrong either. But I guess Blackiris never told ya I'm a mnemonicide, actually. Whoa, dude. Look at the doubt in her eyes. That's harsh, man. That's harsh. I swear it's true, straight from my lips to God's ears. I guess you've never seen me at work, though. Too bad, too bad. I put on this serious, depressed face. I get a kick out of how Law reacts when I do that. And I pick up a few bottles from the shelves, then I lay them down one by one on the counter, kind of like I'm dealing cards for Law to inspect. These, little lady, are what they call essential oils. Judging from the way she's looking at me, I don't think she knows what they are. All right, fair enough, so I'll open up a bottle and put a few drops on a handkerchief and let her sniff it. Smells like flowers. Doesn't it, though? Now don't be sniffing too much, Law. Wouldn't do for me to steal you away from Blackiris, would it now? And sure enough, she hands it back to me. Looks kinda reluctant, though. This is how I roll. Fresh start, too. 2 birds with 1 stone, see? They're expensive, though. Run out too fast. Blackiris has it made, eh? Him and his eyes. A fresh start? Yep. Helps you really relax, rest, meditate, whatever. And when you're all done, boom, fresh start. I see. Heh, what do you know? She's picked up one of the vials, and she's staring at it with newfound respect. And is this expensive? Huh? Well, yeah, it wasn't cheap. None of them are. And I have all sorts, just in case. Why? You want one? She nods silently. There's definitely something about the way she's looking today, though. She's got something on her mind. What? Feeling down recently? Yeah. Oh, not me. Blackiris. For crying out loud, girl. Who do you think you are? The reincarnation of Mother Teresa or something? Can't help but laugh here. Blackiris, eh? Sorry, I never took him for the sensitive sort. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe he's not feeling down. Don't know. All I can say, sometimes he gets quiet and cold. And you're worried about that? It does seem kind of like Blackiris is usually kind of distant and quiet unless you really draw it out of him. So, I don't know. She looks down for a moment, all quiet, all bashful-like. Then she looks up, and quietly she nods. Damn you, Blackiris. Next time we meet, I'm gonna open up a can of whoop-ass on you. What? No need to worry your pretty head about that, little lady. You just finished treating a guest not too long ago, right? The one with the braids? Yeah. Most any mnemonicide is gonna shut himself up like that after he finishes treating someone. Oh, really? Course. It all depends on the individual, but let me tell you something. This whole erasing memories thing, it always leaves really bad taste in your mouth. Sure, our guests come to us because they want to forget, but as for us, we know better. Memories are like people, They don't want to die either. Kind of makes you wonder, and that's why Blackiris is behaving that way. But we can wonder for as long as we want, and it won't change a single thing. I promise, Law. Blackiris will be back to his normal self sooner or later. Probably sooner, if you get what I mean. I see. Thank you. Oh, wow. Look at that smile on her face. Man, I'm weak. Weak! If she asks me for anything, I'm gonna end up giving it to her at this rate. Rook, have you known him for long? Why do you ask? You seem to know a lot about him, and you two get along so well. La, please tell me you're joking. I'm making some sort of face. I must be, seeing as how Law's looking back and blinking like that. Am I wrong? Indeed you are. This is just between you and me. Got it, little lady? Well, whatever. He probably knows already. I used to hate his guts. Really? Really? What? You want to hear more? I think so. For a moment there, I thought she was gonna give up. So much the better, though. So much the better. All right, this is gonna be a long story. First things first, let's clear off Law's plates and silverware. Oh, and how about a digestive? Ah, hot milk will do. And coffee for me, of course. Now, gotta think about how to say this. It's all ancient history, after all. You probably won't believe a word I'm saying, but I used to be real high class. See, you don't believe it, do you? Well, it doesn't matter to me either way, so don't worry. I won't get mad. Anyway, in our province, there wasn't a single, and I mean not a single person, who didn't know of us. I was the sole heir. Can you believe it? I wasn't a very nice guy back then. Not nice? Yeah, I did all sorts of things that I shouldn't. See, no one could tell me no. And even if something broke, like a car or a law, I had money coming out of my ears. Then there was my family. You'd be amazed by how many problems go away when you're rich and famous, kiddo. Anyway, I'd had enough of all that. Seriously cramping my style, you know. I wanted a path of my own. A different one. I was such an idiot, huh? But you know what really sucked? I had talent. I had the skills to do just about anything I set my mind to. I was totally fearless, wasn't afraid of anything, succeeded in everything, filthy rich. That's why no one ever got mad at me. No one ever punished me. No one ever set me straight. But then, the day I turned 17, a black car stopped at our estate. Bunch of government agent types, black suits, goons, you know. They brought a message from the powers that be. Your son has been found to have high mnemonicidal potential. We will take over his schooling and training from this point on. You know what I thought? That this was bound to happen. That this was awesome. Mnemonicides are the creme de la creme, the elite, the professionals that every mom wants her son to grow up to be. So I thought it was obvious. After all, how could a brilliant genius like me not be selected? That's not very nice. As I said, I wasn't a very nice guy back then, but honest to God, that's really what I thought back then. Now everyone knows once you become one of us, you're not leaving this town. But my family never stopped me. They were overjoyed, so proud to have a mnemonicide in the family, you know? So I came to this here town, my head held high and all. That's when I met Blackiris. That's right, kiddo. He and I were classmates. I see. So you became friends then? Not at all. Exactly the opposite. Can you believe it? Now, people get picked to become mnemonicides all over the country, and they all come here. All shapes and sizes, all ages, men, women, children, like Blackiris and me, back then. He and I were probably the closest in age among all our classmates, but we never talked much. And why? Because I didn't like him, no interest in him whatsoever. See, Law, I came to be a mnemonicide. I didn't come to make friends. I was going to be the best there was, just like always. But you know what? Even I have to admit it. Blackiris blew us all out of the water. But he doesn't put on a big show. He just does his thing all quiet-like, so nobody noticed. But you, on the other hand, you put on a big show every day. Hey, can you blame me? I liked the spotlight. I liked being the center of attention. I liked being admired. Anyway, at some point I decided that Blackiris was my enemy. No way was I going to lose to that chump. No, valedictorian honors belonged to me. Around that time, there was talk that one of our classmates was an Omega. Class Omega mnemonicides. Now, what do you think? Can we say much about them? No one's ever seen one. There's no mention of them anywhere in our official case files. They're myths. Or they're ghosts. I knew of Annalie, after all. Who hasn't heard of Annalie, the alpha of Omegas? But I had my doubts. Did he really exist? I'd never met him, after all. And the only record anyone had of him was his books. Talk about fishy. Anyway, we were ranked according to skill, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, in order from most to least powerful. We were all rivals in that, so to speak. But an Omega, here among us, couldn't believe it. More likely, I was petty and jealous. No freaking way anyone was going to be better than me. I see. Yeah, I can look back at it and laugh now. It's okay. You can go ahead too. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so I got a few of my peeps together in order to find out who this Omega was. Now, we knew that guests could only leave town via the 8th Street gate, which meant if Omegas existed at all, they'd have to come there. After all, your memory can't be completely erased until you have an Omega do it, you know. So we snuck into the guard post. 'Twas child's play. The guard on duty was a classmate of mine, after all. Then we hid there and waited until nightfall. We were going to wait till the military police changed shifts, and then slip out of the town entirely. And out there, we'd find out whether Omegas existed or not. Besides, I wanted to make a fool of Blackiris. His guard shift was up next, after all. That's low. Oh, come on, little law. Don't be like that. We were young and dumb, you know. Me in particular. Anyway, things didn't go to plan at all. Now that I think about it, there was no way the plan would have worked anyhow. The guard post was completely locked down after dark, you dig? We were totally trapped. No way to get out and no way to get back into town either. Talk about stupid. I totally lost it then. If they found out what I'd done, I was going to be expelled, and if that happened, there was no way I could go back to my family. I'd end up as a fugitive, a wanted man. Isn't that something? I, who'd played at being an outlaw when I was young, was scared of that possibility now. And just then, who showed up but the devil himself, Blackiris. Now, he was our only chance to get back in town, but at the same time, there was no way he was going to help us. And no way he could. Even if he wanted to, the MPs had the key to this guard post. We were locked in. Talk about hopeless. But Blackiris found us. He made this scary face. I tell ya, it froze me to the bone. Then he, picked the lock. It took him a couple of seconds. Boom. Just like that. The way he was just standing there, cool, unflappable, sent shivers down my spine. I'm telling you, just who the hell was this guy? So I asked him, "What you gonna do?" And guess what he said? "I don't know." "It's none of my business if you want to commit suicide, but do it somewhere else. I will be in Namonicide at all costs. I don't need you to stand in my way." I mean, whoa! Makes my spine tingle just thinking about it even now. What the hell kind of monster was he? Wow, he's so different now. I guess so, kiddo. It wasn't a very nice guy back then either, see? But that incident showed me something. I wasn't any match for him from the very beginning, and I never would be. I don't know where he came from. I don't know why he wanted to become a Namonicide. But what I do know is this. There was no way a lazy fool like me, who was skating by on his talents, could ever rival him. After that, we were forced to work with each other, and that's how it all went down. Got all that, little lady? We actually don't like each other that much. But now she's shaking her head and smiling at me like an angel. No, he thinks of you as a friend. He just acts otherwise, because he can't help it either. He doesn't say yes, doesn't say no, doesn't say what he likes, doesn't say what he dislikes. In that sense, you're much more grown-up than he is. I suppose. I do wonder, though, why does he do that to himself? I shrug for her benefit. She laughs right on schedule. Man, she's cute. Cute as a button. So cute it kinda sorta makes me want to try something. Our competition isn't over yet. Not by a long shot. That story I told ya, that was just a mulligan. See, if you're gonna play at all, you don't screw around, you play to win. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna live my life the way I want to, and someday, I'll be so much happier than he is. That's how I'm gonna win. So let's cut to the chase, shall we, little lady? Want to become so much happier with me? I can see her eyes go round as saucers from across the counter. I mean, any other normal person would realize it was a joke and laugh it off, but no, not little Law here. She takes everything so seriously. And you know what else is fun to watch? The way her cheeks are getting redder and redder. Alright, time to move in for the kill, except, who's that at the door? Just what do you think you're doing? Blackiris looks none too pleased. He's got powder snow all over his coat, so it started again. What do you think, man? I was confessing my undying love for her. Think I got rejected, though. Good for you. Law, are you okay? Yes. Now, little Law, remember, your lips are sealed, right? I wink, and sure enough, Law blushes, right before nodding back. What were you talking about? Sorry, top secret. Uh-huh. Law looks all cute now, smiling and laughing. Blackiris, on the other hand, looks kinda disgruntled. I'll take it. A little pointless victory is better than none at all, eh? Man, 'twas easier than I expected. Alright, kids, it's getting late, so you'd better be heading home. Be careful out there, you hear? The roads are getting really bad. Wouldn't want either of you to slip and fall. They're walking down the street, both of them. Law stopped to say goodbye to me while Blackiris strode outside, but now she's far ahead of him. Hopefully she won't fall. To me, and all the world, they look like lovers, but they aren't. They're a guide and his guest. That's really too bad, don't you think? He was a scary guy back then, Blackiris was. Always glacial, always mad, murderous even. But he's not like that anymore. Not these days. That isn't because he's gotten nice all of a sudden, though. It's just that he's not interested in any other people or himself. It'd be so much better, in some ways, if she weren't his guest. That's the truth, straight from God's mouth to my ears. But that'll never happen, will it now? She has the right to have her psyche corrosion erased, to leave this town, to walk out into the world, to be happy again. Oh well, no use thinking about this. Might as well tidy up. Gotta put these files back where they belong. But wait, there goes the doorbell. I got a new customer. Never seen her around these parts before. Whoa, new character. And she's totally beautiful. Happiness, huh? Maybe this is the way it goes. So I straighten up, I put on my best smile, and I turn to her and say, "Welcome." To be continued. So we are going to pick this up in the next video. And that is actually very interesting, that we get some new information on Rook and Blackiris's past there, how they came to meet. Honestly, I didn't really expect to get information on how they came to meet. So that's kind of neat that they did go into their backstory. That's pretty cool. I didn't really have Rook pegged for someone who is entitled like that. I guess it kind of suits his character and the way that he interacts with people. But it is kind of interesting that he has, chosen to be a cook. But it also is interesting that the government identifies, which I'm going to actually make a note of this. I didn't make a note of it. Government identifies pneumonicide potential, and it seems like more or less claims you and claims youth for training, which is, apart from the characters, apart from the information that we got about characters, that's one of the most interesting, I guess, social things that we got here. Bits of information about how the world has organized itself to deal with the Delore issue. Because I figured people would, I just kind of assumed that people would maybe develop this psionic talent and then maybe go into the field. But I guess maybe, I'm not exactly sure how they're doing that. Maybe people who are psychically predisposed maybe have visions, or maybe they have some other kind of technology that somehow detects. So either there are psychic visions or something of these people, so they identify people who are predisposed to pneumonicide potential, or they have some other kind of technology that identifies specific people so they can go out and get them. Either way, they're coming and saying, hey, we're taking them, and we're going to put them in this town so they can combat the Delore basically for the rest of their lives. The way that he told the story, it didn't seem like there was much of a choice in the matter. So, fortunately for him at the time, he seemed excited about the prospect, but I guess that's not necessarily true for everybody. So, it seemed like Blackiris was at the time excited about being a pneumonicide as well. So, I guess a lot of people are excited about being pneumonicides, but that may not necessarily be true for everyone. So, we may get a little bit more detail about that particular aspect, whether the government actually does come in and more or less seize these people who are talented, or whether it was just the way that he phrased that and made it sound like they were seizing him. Because I don't know, that just sounds kind of like a bummer there. I mean, even if it's something that you want, just removing the element of choice from the equation is not something that I am particularly fond of. But either way, it is kind of interesting to get that bit of information and the backstory on how they met each other, and a little bit of how the training process happened. Backstory, always a good thing there. So anyway, you know, we are going through this, and we did just have a new character introduced. Well, I mean, we saw that there is going to be a new character introduced. I don't know if you would really consider that introducing a new character. Someone walked into the room. We don't have a name. We just saw the image of someone else, but we don't have any information about them whatsoever. So, yeah. We got nothing. It could be potentially the person who was the researcher for the 3rd Street mansion, for all we know, because that place is about to be torn down. Maybe they don't want it torn down. I don't know. Or any other number of things, because that place was on the verge of being torn down. All this stuff remains to be seen. So I'm definitely excited to find that out. Hopefully it won't be as long before I get to record again. This is my top priority single player game that or if you consider it a game, my top priority single person project that I've got going on right now. So hopefully we'll be able to get it out again soon. So anyway, if you like this video, then go ahead and remember to drop it a like. And if you liked it a lot and you want to see the rest of this visual novel or anything else that I may be playing on this channel and you are not currently subscribed, then go ahead and remember to subscribe as well if you are so inclined. But regardless, as always, thanks for watching, and we are going to be picking up right here next time.